Hello everyone, and welcome to From the Heart Friday, session 180, with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B, Creative Cardiology. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. So today, May 5th, I am playing with new goodies from the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. I'm going to continue playing with the Cheerful Daisies bundle. And as we're coming up on scrapbooking day, I thought, let's make a fun daisy scrapbook page. So I think you're going to love this. I'm going to do a 12 by 12 page layout here. And I'm designing it so it could accommodate 3 photos. But of course, you could do many more on that. And I'm excited to share that with you. I hope you guys are loving the new catalog. It just started this week on Tuesday. So it's been so much fun to explore and play with some of these new goodies. And I do have a special host code for you guys. I'll flip the camera and we'll get started on that so that you can take a look at that. But my host code there is 6ANVT67K. And I have a special ran May 2nd through May 12th that if you place a $40 or more order, it can be anything through my online store, then you will get an In Color goodie sampler here. You'll get a sheet of each of the 5 new In Colors. You'll get a sampler of this Fresh as a Daisy designer series paper, cut to 4 by 6. You'll get a sampler of each of the new In Color ribbons, and you'll even get a sheet here of the In Color enamel dots. So fun little In Color sampler there that I will send you absolutely free with your $40 order. Make sure you use my code there. All right. And if your order is $100 or more, all right, because there's so many exciting goodies here in the new catalog, then not only will you get the In Color sampler, but you also get the Beautiful Thistle stamp set for free, along with a card kit that I have designed in honor of the fact that David and I are traveling to Scotland for 5 days, and then we'll be going on Stampin' Up's Norwegian cruise incentive trip. So fun goodies here, and that's why I have it May 2nd through 12th, so that I can get all of your goodies mailed out before we leave on our trip. All right, so like I said, we are going to be playing with the Cheerful Daisies collection here today. It's Fresh as a Daisy collection, but that includes the Cheerful Daisies stamp set with the coordinating dies. And then we've got the beautiful Fresh as a Daisy designer series paper. So many bright, pretty prints here. And this features all 5 of the new In Colors. All right, really cool. On Tuesday's video, we made 3 cards using this Fresh as a Daisy designer series paper, and we used several of the newest In Colors here. And today I'm going to show you a scrapbook page, and I'm going to use this pattern right here, this Moody Mauve Bubble Bath Wild Wheat pattern. Oh, these really pretty daisies. So I thought that would be fun. So if you're a scrapbooker, leave me a comment, let me know. I think several of my viewers are scrapbookers. You can find this collection in your new annual catalog here on pages 110 and 111. You can do the whole Buy It All collection. That includes the stamps, the dies, the designer series paper, and some fun jewels there as well. All right, so I'm going to start. We're going to make this a 12 by 12 page. Hi, Polly. Hello, hello. And so I'm going to start with a 12 by 12 sheet of basic white, and hopefully I've got the camera positioned so that you can see as much as you can of this page. I think my screen is dirty because what I'm looking at is mostly fingerprints. Hi, Carmen. Good to have you on here. And but hopefully you can see clearly. You guys can let me know. I've got my lamp leaning over my shoulder here too for some extra light. But I'm going to start. I do mostly 12 by 12 scrapbooking. That's what I prefer, because I always try to squeeze as many photos on my pages as I can. And that's just the size I like to do. And like I said, I'm starting out with this really pretty pattern of the Fresh as a Daisy Designer Series paper. The back side is the Wild Wheat, which so far is not my favorite in color. But I love the daisy pattern, so I didn't mind cutting into this. And we're going to make this the featured pattern here of our Designer Series paper. And I have cut this to 6.5 by 12. It doesn't actually have to be. You could go with a 6 by 6 if you want to just use a half sheet. What I'm planning to do is pull this in about 1/2 inch from the right side, so it's not right up against the edge. And it's the full 12, so it's 6.5 by 12, so it goes top to bottom. But I'm coming in about 1/2 inch towards the left here. And I'm going to just use my Stampin' Seal, all right, because it works, it sticks really well. And of course, Luann, are you watching? Ran out of adhesive. I should have known that was going to happen so quickly. All right, I just ordered a couple. I put another order in today. Don't tell David. Just when you think you've got everything you need, right? Then you find out you're missing. You know what I was missing? After I put in all of these orders, and I've been working on swap cards, and we've got a team event coming up Sunday and Monday. So I've been doing a lot of stamping, and realized I never ordered basic white cardstock on any of my orders. And of course, you know, since that's what you primarily stamp on, and I use for, you know, layering, all kinds of things. I mean, there's a reason why they call it basic white, because it truly is a basic. And I cannot believe I ran out, absolutely ran out. I was down to like 3 sheets of basic white cardstock. So I had to put in an expedited order nonetheless, in order to get some of that basic white cardstock here. And I put a couple of Stampin' Seal refills on there. I put some dimensionals on there, and yeah, cardstock, bunch of goodies, you know. Because if you're going to pay for expedited shipping, you need to order more than just basic white cardstock. All right, so we have our 6.5 by 12 piece here of our Cheerful Daisies Designer Series paper. All right, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to put a little strip. Now, I did not order the 12 by 12 cardstock for the In Colors or the new core color families yet. You can get 12 by 12 cardstock. This is page 125 of your annual catalog. And our 12 by 12 comes in the assortments of the brights, neutrals, recals, and subtles. And then you can also get an assortment of each set of In Colors. I did not do that yet, so that's why I'm working off of a white base. But I wanted to pull in some of those new colors. So this is Bubble Bath. So I cut 1.5 inch strip of the Bubble Bath. So it's 1.5 by 11. And I want to put that in here. But before I glue that down, I thought it'd be fun to have a little contrast with some of that Moody Mauve. And so I've cut a 12-inch strip of the Moody Mauve ribbon. And I'll show you guys, if I can, show you a tip here. When I'm dealing with ribbon for a scrapbook page and I want it to lay nice and flat and not bulky and not come undone, I love tear and tape for that. Carmen says she always forgets to order something. And oh, good, Polly, you've got 12 by 12 basic white on your list. Yes, I always keep a couple packs of the 12 by 12 basic white as well. And this time I ordered several packages. I ordered 3 packages of the 8.5 by 11 basic white so that I wouldn't run out of that either. All right, so I've taken a strip of tear and tape right down the center of this Bubble Bath cardstock strip. Okay, and then I'm going to pull that up. It's so nice, just do the whole width, peel that off, and then lay your ribbon right down across it. All right, so that makes your ribbon nice and straight. It's flat. All right, that's perfect. And you can trim it off there if you like. I probably am going to do that because with a scrapbook page, I don't want any extra bulk. So I'm not going to fold it over the edges here. I'm just going to trim it right off. And that was another reason I took my tear and tape all the way to the edge so that my ribbon wouldn't fray there at the end. It just go right, there we go, right there along the edge. All right, and then we'll put our tear and tape, excuse me, our Stampin' Seal adhesive. And I always do a little more adhesive than usual when I'm scrapbooking because I don't want anything to fall apart. So I like to do a nice, make sure everything's good and stuck down. So I'm going to cover the seam with this. I'm actually going to line the seam of my paper up with the right edge of my ribbon. And again, I'm about 1/2 inch top and bottom here. Okay, so that adds a nice little bit of contrast there. Hi, Donna. Hello, hello. All right, so then we're going to have a couple little designs. I had showed you guys one of the patterns here in the Fresh of the Daisy paper is this collage print. And I used 3 of the patterns on the cards we made in Tuesday's video. But I do have a couple extra little pieces. There's this little floral piece that's kind of in the same colors here, just a little bit of contrast. And then on the back side of this is also this Moody Mauve bubble bath kind of brush stroke pattern. And there's this like boring little gray piece here. So I'm actually going to use this Moody Mauve brush stroke pattern and the little floral pattern. So I'm using 2 of the pieces here from the collage sheet. Just an extra little bit of contrast on here. And we're going to do a little, let's see. I was going to do top and bottom. We'll figure that out. What I want to do is we'll kind of line up our centerpiece and then we can decide where we want to position those. But I have taken a piece of the bubble bath cardstock. Again, I started with an 8.5 by 11 sheet and I've cut it down to 7 by 11. And this is going to go across the front of my page here. All right, yes, I want it to be even. All right, this is going to go across the middle. I'm going to do a contrasting layer of Moody Mauve. This is an inch smaller, so this is 6 by 10. All right, that gives my, and then my photos are going to go on here. So I like the contrast of the dark, the Moody Mauve behind my photos, and then the bubble bath there behind it. So let's go ahead and adhere this Moody Mauve layer to the bubble bath layer. Again, just using my Stampin' Seal, using a little bit more than I usually would, just because scrapbooks are meant to last several lifetimes, right? So we hand them down to different generations of our family. All right, so all of Stampin' Up's cardstock and designer series paper, including our Stampin' Seal adhesive here, are all the acid lignin free, so they're safe for your scrapbooking. All right, so I can see where this is going to go here across the front. Hi Pam, how are you? All right, so I'm going to put this right up here. That's actually going to contrast. And then this one down here, let's see. It's kind of fun just to have a little bit of contrast. So let me, before I have adhesive on that, before I do that, I'm going to put this one down because I want this layered underneath. I think that will look a little bit better. Can you guys see that here? So I am going to gently pull that up just a little bit. And I'm going to come in. There we go. I used a good amount of adhesive on there. There we go. Get right up underneath it. All right, so So I'm going to come in, make sure that I'm about an inch from the bottom and the left side here. All right, can you guys see I've got, sorry, there we go. So I'm making sure that bottom, so I'm just tucking this piece underneath, and then I'll smooth that back out, and we'll be layered over top. So that's okay if it's a little crunchy there. That'll come out just fine. All right, and then this piece can go on right after I get this one. Okay, so let's go ahead. All right, so that will actually come down about a ½ inch from there, matches the bottom. Okay, let's do that one too. It's gonna layer just a little bit. Okay, so at the bottom piece here, you can see this is, got a little bit of a step up from it. So when I come down here at the top, I wanna have that same distance, okay? All right, we're good. Now we can put this across the center. All right, let's see, let's make sure we are equal distance left and right. And then we are, all right, our bubble bath piece is 7 inches. So that means we need to be about 2½ inches from the top and the bottom. All right, and I'm gonna make sure that lines up there on the right. That'll help keep my cardstock square and even. All right, what do you guys think? Hi, Wendy. Hello, hello. So we used our beautiful floral, fresh as a daisy designer series paper on here, and we used a couple of the accents from that collage piece. So we've got all shades of Moody Mauve and Bubble Bath on here, and then our photos can go across the front. So I've designed this, so I've just for illustrative purposes here, I've cut 3 panels of basic white to 3.5 by 5. So you could visualize what your, let's see, let's mount them evenly across. So this would, ideally, you would put 3 photos on here that are 3.5 by 5. You could actually do, I wouldn't really do 4 by 6 photos, because then that's going to take up the entire height here of this Moody Mauve layer. So I would go with something a little bit smaller. So 3.5 by 5, I think balances nicely here across the front. And we'll plan on doing that. And then I've got fun little die cut piece. All right, we've got some cute little die cuts here in our Cheerful Daisies bundle, including this little piece that has stitching on it. So I love the way that looks. That would be great for a little dab of journaling here. We could stick that down here towards the right. All right, we can put some journaling on that. And then, of course, we need a daisy, something to go up here at the top. So I've cut a few different things, but actually what I was thinking of doing was stamping this large daisy. All right, you've got your 2-step stamping. So you've got your base stamp, excuse me, and then your detailed overlay. All right, and then I pulled in somewhere some basic white. I should have brought a drink back with me. All right, some basic white. We've got our Bubble Bath and Moody Mauve here. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to stamp our bold image here, the solid stamp, with our Bubble Bath. All right, isn't that pretty? Pretty pink. And then we'll take the Moody Mauve, and you can do this in either, some people like to do your detailed image first and then fill it in with your solid stamp. So it doesn't really matter which one you do first. I did the solid, and then I'm going to go over here with my detailed stamp and stamp over it. And that comes out so nicely there. All right, and then we have a center for our flower. So I'm going to ink that up with some Moody Mauve as well. And we'll stamp that here in our flower center. And then we have the dies, so we can die cut this. So even if you don't get them lined up perfectly, it'll still work. You can still use your largest daisy die here. All right. And run that through your cut and emboss machine or your die cut machine there. And when you do that, you end up with this. Isn't that pretty? And I thought as well we need a little bit of greenery. And we've got some neat sprigs. Of course, we do have a leaf stamp and a die cut for that and a stem, but I love these little detailed sprigs, little spriglets we'll call them. And since our designer series paper has that wild wheat color in it, I thought we'd do a couple of sprigs of wild wheat here. All right, I didn't want to just go green because I want it to coordinate here with my designer series paper. So I cut out these little sprigs here with the wild wheat, and we'll put those on with a little bit of glue dots first, and then we'll pop our daisy up with some dimensionals. So let's find our glue dots. All right, I'm going to put the glue dots on the front piece. You can kind of see this front is smooth and then the back is a little rougher. So I'm going to put my glue dot on the front because that way it'll stick right side. Oh, a little scrap piece, something there. I want it to be able to stick to the underside here of my daisy. All right, so I'm just sticking that to the back. All right, let's do one more here. And if you're not into scrapbooking, or if you're intimidated to start, well, a scrapbook is essentially just a little bit, it's just a bigger card. Same design aspects go into making both a card and a scrapbook page, and scrapbook page just is a little bit larger. All right, so then we're going to take our dimensionals here. Oh, using up my dimensional sheet. Let's go ahead, we'll put this on, and so I'm going to layer that dimensional that'll sandwich those little spriglets in there amongst the daisy and our scrapbook page. Again, lots of adhesives because you want to make sure all your elements stay put, because scrapbooks are designed to be looked at, right? Not just sit on a shelf, but you want your family and friends to actually be able to look at them, handle them. And so they need to be able to hold up to that. Okay. So I think that'll be cute. We'll do our little, again, pretend these are your photos. All right, so let's do our daisy right here at this little intersection. How cute is that? So fun. What do you guys think? So we have our Fresh as a Daisy scrapbook page. We've got our stamped elements and little die cut pieces, some contrasting pieces of designer series paper, and then we've even got a little die cut element down here on the right for our journaling. And I do recommend journaling that first before you stick it down, because then it would be cool to pop that up with a little bit of dimensionals. But you can you could stamp just a little quote or a phrase, something from the stamp set. Of course, I always like to put the date of the photos, something that helps me remember what those photos are about. So usually the date, maybe the location, maybe the names of the people in the photos. So I thought I had pictures in mind for this, but and thinking about this just in the short time before I went live here, I quickly grabbed an album. I could not. A lot of my photos are organized by year, but not a lot of them are in albums, or the ones that are have already been scrapbooked. So I didn't have a chance to go through all of those. But I did find this one photo. So if you guys want a vintage photo here of Jess B, Creative Cardiology, I'm thinking like circa 1989. I was like 8 or 9. But wouldn't that be sweet? So this is a landscape style photo, so not exactly what I had designed the page for, but I had these cute little bubble bath color wildflowers, and I was thinking that would be so cute. Now what I was thinking of, I have some pictures when my family attended an event, and I had a pink dress that was it was real pale. This bubble bath color would have been a good color. But I need to find the photos. I found a couple random photos, but they weren't good quality. So that's what I was thinking. I was going to put pictures of my best friend and I here in our pink dresses. But this is the one I found instead. So I thought you guys would think that was cute. So there is my scrapbook page, getting you ready here for National Scrapbook Day tomorrow. And just a reminder, Stampin' Up's amazing color coordination, quality cardstock, and designer series papers are great for scrapbooking. All right, so don't forget to pull those out, make a couple pages, have fun with that. And if you guys enjoyed that, don't forget to give me that likes, thumbs up. If you watch the replay on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. But I hope you've enjoyed that. And if you didn't already, go back and watch Tuesday's video where I made cards. This was coordinate too. That would be a cute little element to use on a scrapbook page. All right, here's a couple of others. I have plenty of Cheerful Daisy projects to share with you in the coming weeks, months, years. But here's a couple just to get you started. And hopefully you'll tune in again. Thank you guys so much. Yes, scrapbooking is fun. I actually started, you guys might not know that, I actually started out scrapbooking way before I ever started making cards. I kind of got interested in scrapbooking around the time that David and I got engaged. His sister had gone to a scrapbooking party, and so she invited me when she hosted one. And that's kind of how I got into paper crafting, was through scrapbooking. And then when I was invited to my first Stampin' Up party, I was introduced to stamping and realized, oh my goodness, I didn't have to use flat stickers anymore. I could stamp and elevate and add dimension and do all these cool, make my own elements for my scrapbook pages and really take them to another level. And so from that point on, I was hooked. And then, of course, I started making cards because those are usually a little bit quicker than scrapbook pages, but nonetheless. All right, well, there you go. A little tidbit for you and a little picture of tiny me. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much. Happy stamping, and I will see you soon. All righty, take care. Bye-bye.